All right, we're in the garden today talking about cover crops, and it's August 11th here at Old World Garden Farms in Ohio. And as you can tell, August, we're really in the midst of a big part of our garden season. Our tomato plants are in full production mode. We've been picking at least a bushel, if not a bushel and a half from these every day. Our tomatilla plants, and as you can see, our pepper plants down there, along with even our sweet corn and some of our zucchini monster plants are all producing. But we do have a few rows, mainly like right here, you'll see the bean rows that are already in our cover crops. And one of the biggest misconceptions about cover cropping is that you have to wait until the entire end of the season and you till up your land and then you put your cover crop down. Well, we don't do that here. If we have a row we're not going to use anymore during the year, if we're not going to succession plant, we will go ahead early in the year and put it into a cover crop. And the reason we do that is a couple of reasons. The first is we want to prevent the soil from being bare. So as soon as that crop's done and we pull it, we want to get that cover crop down and some straw on top. As you see, this was one of our early cucumber rows, and we pulled the plants. And if I were to pull this back a little bit, you'll see, you'll start to see some of the rye seed here. And the rye seed is just like that. I pulled it out of my hand. And you want to make sure we use annual rye. It's probably the best cover crop around. We just really believe in it. But we just lightly rake it on our rows. We do not till. We don't have to till. We just pull back the straw that was there for the plants, sow the row, put a little straw on, and in a week or so, that'll come up and be a nice thick protective coat for that row and keep weeds from growing in. As you can see, in between we have our mulch. And it's one of the things, even if you don't have a raised row garden, if you just have a typical garden, it's half gone, go ahead and clear those plants and get that rye in now, or get whatever cover crop you want to use. Getting those now will prevent weed seeds from blowing in. If those two crops, as I'll pan back around here, from the bean rows were left empty, by the end of the year it would be a mess of weeds. But by putting that cover crop down right now, it makes a big difference to keep the soil covered, gives a lot of nutrients to the soil as it grows, and if it gets too big in the end of the year, we can still mow it down. With our cereal rye, it goes dormant in the wintertime, comes back a little bit in the spring, we can mow it off and plant right through it. So one of the things I want to kind of say today about gardening is those cover crops, you don't have to wait until September or October. Get them in now as soon as those rows clear out. And even if you do a portion of your garden, it's a great way to really get ahead and to keep your garden safe from weeds and to protect it and to get it set for a better garden next year.